Stop whatever you're doing, yes. Even if you're binge-watching reruns of The Real Housewives or stalking your ex's Instagram because Rasheeda just broke down in tears on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And trust me, this meltdown makes the Kardashians look like they're running a yoga retreat. This isn't just reality TV drama. This is Shakespeare in stilettos, with tears flowing faster than free shots at a nightclub opening. Picture it. A queen of Atlanta hip-hop. A woman who built an empire brick by brick, suddenly cracking under the weight of betrayal, rumors, and cameras that don't miss a single salty tear. The moment it aired, Twitter went into cardiac arrest. Memes multiplied like gremlins in water. Fans screamed, enemies smirked, and Rasheeda's legacy? It's dangling off a cliff like it's auditioning for a Fast and Furious stunt sequence. And here's the kicker. This isn't just a sad scene, it's a full-blown cultural earthquake. Behind the glitter, the fights, the hookah smoke, and the confessional shade lies a truth so raw. Even VH1 couldn't script it this perfectly. So grab your popcorn, hide your wigs, and lock your doors because we're diving into the scandal Rasheeda never wanted you to see. Rasheeda isn't new to drama. Let's be honest, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta runs on drama the way Starbucks runs on pumpkin spice lattes. If there isn't somebody crying, flipping tables, or calling someone out for sleeping with their cousin's boyfriend's barber, then is it even Tuesday night TV? But what happened this season with Rasheeda? Oh no, this wasn't your average side-eye and sip kind of drama. This was a full-blown emotional earthquake, with Rasheeda in tears, and fans still trying to piece together the wreckage like CSI investigators with Twitter handles. Now, Rasheeda is known as the boss chick. She's been holding it down for seasons, balancing music, motherhood, marriage, and a boutique empire while dodging shade grenades thrown by frenemies who'd sell their grandma's wig glue for 5 seconds of camera time. She's a calm in the storm, or at least, that's the brand she built. But when the cameras caught her breaking down, mascara streaking like modern art, the entire Love and Hip Hop fandom screamed in unison, "WHAT did they do to Rasheeda?" Here's where it gets messy. Reports from behind the scenes hint that Rasheeda's tears weren't just from one petty fight. No, this was the result of a season's worth of pressure boiling over. Betrayals from friends, rumors that spread faster than Wi-Fi at McDonald's, and whispers about her marriage being under fire again. Everything collided in one moment that had viewers clutching their pearls like they were auditioning for a soap opera. And let's talk about that marriage. Rasheeda and Kirk Frost have survived more scandals than a politician's text messages. Cheating allegations, love child drama, endless cycles of will they won't they divorce at this point. Their marriage has more plot twists than a Netflix true crime documentary. Fans are divided. Some call Rasheeda a saint for sticking by him. Others say she's auditioning for Martyrs of Atlanta. But this season, it seems the weight of it all finally cracked her cool exterior. The breakdown happened mid-scene. And the irony? It wasn't even the fight itself that broke her. It was the build-up, the snide comments, the messy confessions, the feeling that everyone around her was playing chess while she was just trying to keep her crown straight. Rasheeda isn't just a cast member, she's an institution. When she cries, the whole show shakes. It's like if Beyonce dropped her mic mid-performance and said, "I can't do this anymore." The world doesn't know how to process that. And the reactions? Instant chaos. The second the footage aired, Twitter timelines combusted. Fans wrote think pieces in 280 characters, while TikTok creators reenacted the crying scene with wigs and exaggerated sobs, racking up millions of views. Memes labeled her Rasheeda, Queen of Pain, Atlanta's Oprah, and my personal favorite, a picture of her crying with the caption, "When Kirk says he's going to change for the 74th time." But not everyone was laughing. Some fans got protective, flooding her socials with love. "Stay strong, Queen," they wrote, as if Instagram comments are therapy sessions. Others went for the jugular, blaming her for staying in toxic cycles. "Girl, how many tears until you wake up?" And then there were the conspiracy theorists insisting VH1 scripted the whole breakdown for ratings. Because of course, nothing in reality TV can just happen. Meanwhile, Castmates were split like a Thanksgiving dinner with divorced parents. Some rallied to Rasheeda's side, dabbing her tears and cursing out anyone who dared throw shade. Others, they sipped their cocktails with a smirk, secretly thrilled that the boss chick finally cracked. Because let's face it, reality TV thrives on downfall. The same cast members who cry with you on screen will talk about you like a podcast host off camera, and here's where the sarcasm really writes itself. VH1 milked that breakdown like it was the last cow in Atlanta. Slow motion shots of her tears, dramatic violins playing like it was the Titanic sinking, and confessional cutaways where Rasheeda tried to hold it together but couldn't. It wasn't just an episode, it was an event. They promoted the breakdown for weeks, like it was the Super Bowl of sadness. Let's not forget Kirk in all of this. The man who has single-handedly fueled more Rasheeda tears than onions and bad contracts combined. Fans zeroed in on his reactions, analyzing every blink, every eyebrow twitch, every sip of his drink. Did he look guilty? Did he look smug? Did he look like a man rehearsing his "I'm sorry, babe" speech for the 200th time? Social media said yes to all of the above, but beyond the memes and hot takes, there's something deeper. Rasheeda's breakdown wasn't just about TV drama, it was about the exhausting weight of holding it together while the world watches. Being strong, being the boss, being the example. At some point, even the most polished crowns slip. And when they do, it's not just tears, it's headlines, hashtags, and trending topics. And if you think this was just a moment, oh honey, it was the spark. Because the fallout from this breakdown didn't just shake Rasheeda's image, it rattled the whole cast, the fans, and even the producers who knew they'd struck gold. A crying Rasheeda is reality TV cocaine, and everyone's hooked. The fallout from Rasheeda's breakdown didn't simmer down, it exploded like someone tossed gasoline onto a bonfire at a family cookout. That one moment of tears became the kind of cultural spectacle that swallowed everything in its path. By the next morning, the internet wasn't just talking about Rasheeda, they were dissecting her soul, her marriage, her brand, and even her boutique's clothing racks. Like detectives solving the case of how did the boss chick lose her chill. Blogs churned out articles with headlines like "Rasheeda in crisis. Can the boss chick survive the breakdown?" While YouTubers uploaded hour-long breakdowns of the breakdown, complete with freeze-frame analysis of every single teardrop. TikTok flooded with edits that turned her sobs into remixes, trap beats, and even sad lo-fi playlists called "Crying with Rasheeda." It was brutal, savage, and somehow hilarious all at once. But what really sent fans into overdrive were the cast reactions. Because in the love and hip-hop universe, one woman's breakdown is another woman's glow-up. You had some castmates pretending to play Mother Teresa, rubbing Rasheeda's back on camera, whispering, "You deserve better, sis," then cut to their confessionals, where they were smirking into the camera like villains in a Disney reboot, saying, "She always acts like she's perfect. Now y'all see she's not." And the internet? Oh, they caught every bit of shade. Screen grabs went viral faster than a cat video, with captions like, "This is why I don't trust hugs in reality TV." One meme showed a castmate hugging Rasheeda, but photoshopped a knife in her other hand with the caption, "Support, but make it sneaky." Then came the outsiders, celebs who had nothing to do with love and hip-hop but couldn't resist jumping into the chaos. Tamar Braxton slid in with a tweet, "That Rasheeda cry scene hit different. We've all been there, sis." Cue the fans screaming "Same girl" in her replies. Meanwhile, Joseline Hernandez, sipping her eternal cocktail of petty and unprovoked shade, blasted out, "She'd been crying over Kirk since Obama's first term. Enough already." Harsh? Yes. True? Also yes. And let's not forget Kirk himself. The man who could make the Pope lose patience somehow decided to open his mouth and make things worse. In a confessional, he said, "I just want people to understand my side." Wrong move, buddy. The internet pounced on him like hyenas on a zebra. His comments section filled with clown emojis, GIFs of Rasheeda crying, and people flat out writing, "We don't care about your side, Kirk." Public outrage hit levels usually reserved for presidential debates and celebrity divorces. Team Rasheeda came out swinging, flooding her socials with messages of support, Stay strong, queen. You deserve better. Meanwhile, the skeptics dragged her for sticking with Kirk through scandal after scandal. How many tears until you realize he's the problem? And then, of course, you had the conspiracy camp claiming the whole thing was scripted by VH1 producers for ratings. Honestly, at this point, VH1 probably has a secret department dedicated to emotional sabotage, and Rasheeda just got caught in the crossfire. The ripple effects were insane. Blogs debated whether Rasheeda was a victim of toxic love or a savvy businesswoman milking heartbreak for relevance. Podcasts turned it into a cultural debate about Black women's labor on reality TV, while gossip accounts just kept posting crying screenshots with captions like "Same energy when Uber Eats forgets my fries." Everyone had an opinion, and everyone wanted their tweet to go viral. And then came the merch. Because of course it did. The internet wastes no time monetizing pain. Within 48 hours, online hustlers were selling t-shirts with Rasheeda's crying face, mugs that said "Boss Chick Tears," and even phone cases with her meltdown immortalized in high definition. The audacity of capitalism knows no limits. Fans bought them up anyway, turning her breakdown into a fashion statement. Meanwhile, the cast doubled down. One posted a selfie with the caption, "Some of us sip champagne, others cry." Translation: petty shade aimed directly at Rasheeda. Fans screenshotted it and flooded her comments, sparking another round of cast beef. Love and hip-hop. Atlanta wasn't just messy, it had evolved into a Hunger Games-style battle royale, and Rasheeda's tears were the spark. The escalation even bled into music Twitter. Suddenly, people were resurfacing her old tracks, joking that she should drop a new mixtape called "Crying in the Club." A producer actually made a mashup of her sobs over a trap beat and posted it on SoundCloud. It went viral. Picture it. Rasheeda's tears turned into a club banger, people grinding to her heartbreak on dance floors across America. That's the internet in 2025. Your trauma is somebody else's playlist, and just when you thought it couldn't get any wilder. Gossip blogs claim VH1 producers encouraged castmates to poke at Rasheeda's insecurities, knowing she was close to breaking down. If true, it wasn't just reality TV, it was emotional sabotage disguised as entertainment. Fans started calling for boycotts, but let's be real, nobody was turning off their TV. The ratings spiked like a cryptocurrency scam, proving once again that human empathy ends where reality TV chaos begins. By now, the show wasn't about music, love, or even hip-hop. It was about one woman's tears and the circus they unleashed. And Rasheeda, she tried to bounce back, posting inspirational quotes on Instagram like, "Sometimes you have to break down to break through." Admirable, yes. Believable? That depends on whether you think she's genuinely healing or strategically rebranding. In reality TV, sincerity is always up for debate. But one thing was crystal clear. The escalation turned a private pain into a public carnival. Fans weren't just watching anymore, they were participating, dissecting, remixing, and turning her tears into a cultural artifact. And once the internet gets its claws in a moment like this, it doesn't let go, because in the world of love and hip-hop, a breakdown isn't just an episode, it's an empire. And Rasheeda's empire? It just got shaken, stirred, and served up for the world to binge. When the smoke began to clear from Rasheeda's breakdown, one thing was obvious. Nothing would ever be the same. That single tear-soaked moment had detonated like a cultural grenade, scattering shrapnel into her marriage, her brand, her friendships, and even her reputation as the unshakable boss chick. And while most reality TV scandals fizzle out faster than a cheap candle, this one kept burning, fanned by fans, blogs, and every gossip account desperate to milk every last drop of boss chick drama. First, let's talk marriage fallout. Rasheeda and Kirko, that eternal roller coaster of heartbreak and sorry babe speeches. After the crying episode aired, insiders swore the tension between them got even worse. Sources whispered that arguments behind closed doors turned explosive, with Rasheeda demanding changes while Kirk apparently played his usual broken record. Promises, excuses, rinse, repeat. Fans who have watched them for years rolled their eyes so hard, they practically saw their brains. The internet consensus? Kirk is a repeat offender, and Rasheeda's tears are receipts that he hasn't learned a damn thing. And here's the kicker. Even their own kids reportedly beg them to work it out off camera. Imagine that your children playing mediator while the world turns your parents' issues into meme content. That's not a family dynamic. That's a Netflix dark comedy waiting to be greenlit. The professional consequences were just as messy. Rasheeda's boutique, her pride and joy, got dragged into the chaos. Customers flooded reviews with sarcastic comments like cute clothes, but do they come with tissues? While others vowed to support her harder, framing their purchases as activism. I bought this dress to stand with Rasheeda. The boutique became a battlefield, with Yelp reviews turning into political manifestos about reality TV pain. Only in 2025 could a crying scene affect clothing sales. Meanwhile, her music career, already struggling to find footing in an industry that eats its veterans alive, saw a strange spike. Streams of her old songs went up, not because people were vibing, but because they wanted to roast. TikTok creators used her tracks as soundtracks for parody videos, some set to clips of her breakdown. It was savage. Imagine pouring your soul into music years ago, only for people to use it as a punchline when you cry on TV. That's the price of being both a boss and a reality star. The world doesn't separate the two, but the most devastating consequence: public perception. Rasheeda built her brand on strength, composure, and boss chick energy. That breakdown flipped the script. Suddenly, people weren't talking about her as a powerhouse, they were talking about her as the woman who lost it on national TV. And in the brutal ecosystem of reality entertainment, weakness gets remembered longer than strength. Still, she tried to reclaim the narrative. Inspirational Instagram posts, motivational captions, even a YouTube vlog where she insisted she was healing and stronger than ever. Admirable effort. But critics weren't convinced. Some said she was rebranding her breakdown into a storyline. Others accused VH1 of dangling her tears like bait to keep fans hooked. Either way, the sincerity of her pain became the debate, not the pain itself. That's the tragedy of reality fame. Your real tears get treated like plot points. Then came the industry whispering. Other reality stars allegedly reached out to Rasheeda privately, warning her that once you cry on camera, producers smell blood in the water. They'll push you harder, prod you deeper, and milk you until the tears dry up. Joe's line, ever the blunt oracle of reality TV, reportedly DM'd her, "They gon' make you cry again, sis. It's what they do. That's not support, that's prophecy." And fans? Oh, the fans, they were torn. Half wanted to protect Rasheeda, showering her with digital hugs and hashtags like #pray for Rasheeda. The other half? They were done. They saw her tears as another season, another cycle, another rerun of pain they've been watching for a decade. To them, her breakdown wasn't shocking, it was exhausting. And that exhaustion bled into the fandom, fracturing it into love, pity, and frustration. But let's zoom out for a second. The real aftermath wasn't just personal, it was cultural. Rasheeda's breakdown became a mirror for the entire love and hip-hop franchise. Viewers started asking, how much of this is entertainment, and how much is emotional exploitation? Think pieces popped up in The Cut, Essence, and even The New Yorker, all dissecting the breakdown as though it were fine literature. Academics quoted it in lectures about reality television's impact on Black women's emotional portrayal. Suddenly, her sobs weren't just entertainment, they were sociology. And yet, for all the deep dives and cultural debates, the reality remained. Rasheeda was hurting, and the world was entertained by it. That's the sick paradox of fame in 2025. Your pain is the public's popcorn. Meanwhile, Kirk, the man, somehow managed to make it worse. His interviews after the episode aired sounded like a broken man trying to sound innocent. He told one outlet, "People don't know what we go through." Wrong move, buddy. The world knows exactly what you go through. It's broadcast in high definition every week. Fans dragged him for filth, calling him Atlanta's biggest villain since Traffic. Even his attempts at sympathy backfired, with one fan writing, "The only thing worse than Kirk's excuses are his outfits." Savage. As for the other cast members, they capitalized shamelessly. One dropped a podcast episode titled Crying Bosses, When Strong Women Break. Another used the drama as promo for their latest single. It was opportunism at its finest, proving once again that in reality TV, your downfall is somebody else's commercial break. But the strangest part of the aftermath was how Rasheeda's breakdown seemed to ripple into pop culture outside the show. A fashion line launched a campaign about real tears, real women, blatantly referencing her meltdown. A late-night host joked that Rasheeda's tears could end the Atlanta drought. Even politicians tried to use the moment for clout. One city council candidate tweeted, "If Rasheeda can cry and keep going, so can Atlanta. Sir, please log off." And through it all, the looming question lingered like smoke in the air. What's next? Will Rasheeda finally walk away from Kirk? Will she reinvent herself outside of reality TV? Or will producers dangle another emotional cliffhanger until the next season, when the tears come back for a sequel? Because the truth is, in the land of love and hip-hop, breakdowns aren't endings or reboots. And if history has taught us anything, it's that VH1 will squeeze every last drop of boss chick drama until the crown falls off completely. The shocking clarity. Rasheeda's breakdown wasn't just a personal collapse, it was a reminder that in the reality TV machine, vulnerability is currency, and tears are profit. She became both the victim and the product, her pain fueling the very show that made her famous. And no matter how much she rebuilds, reinvents, or rebrands, the internet will always remember her in that moment. Eyes red, mascara streaked, the boss chick brought to her knees, and there you have it. Folks, Rasheeda, the boss chick herself, brought to tears in a meltdown so raw, so chaotic, so absolutely binge-worthy that VH1 is probably building a new mansion just off the ratings alone. If you thought this was just another reality TV cry fest, think again. This was the kind of moment that makes the Kardashians look like they're filming an Asmer spa commercial. Tears, drama, betrayal, it's the holy trinity of reality TV chaos. And Rasheeda just delivered it in high definition. Now here's where you come in. Smash that like button like Kirk smashes Rasheeda's patience. Drop a comment like you're writing a confession for the reunion episode. Whose side are you on? Team Rasheeda, Team Girl Wake Up, or Team I Just Came Here for the Memes? And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you even doing with your life? This is Fame Flaws. We don't just spill tea. We dump the whole kettle, throw it at the wall, and then analyze the stains for cultural significance. Every week, another celebrity cracks under the pressure of their own fame, and every week, we're here breaking it down with more sarcasm than your aunt at Thanksgiving dinner. From meltdowns to makeup fights, from tears to Twitter wars, this is the content that keeps your group chats alive. So subscribe, hit that notification bell like it owes you money, and stay tuned because in the world of celebrity scandals, today's breakdown is tomorrow's comeback tour. And trust me, with love and hip-hop, Atlanta, the next scandal is probably being filmed right now while we're still laughing at the last one. This is Fame Flaws, where fame cracks, flaws shine, and the truth always leaks louder than the lies.